Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. I'm Zach, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about the 8-hour ozone standard. This is an important concept to understand because it is being used as the basis of a lot of legislation that's moving through Arlington here recently. You can find the 8-hour ozone standard inside of your Regional Mobility Initiative's handbook. You'll notice I have mine right here. It was acquired at a Council of Governments meeting in February. And you can see I have a lot of colored tabs here sticking out of the side of my book. Every single blue tab is a word-for-word reference to adding bicycle and pedestrian paths all over DFW. So, kind of strange. I'm curious, does this have anything to do with the Arlington Hike and Bike Plan that's going through Council? Who knows, but that's not what the video is about. We're talking about the 8-hour ozone standard, which can be found on page 3. In fact, you might have already seen this page. I have an entire article on the website, savearlington.com, that's devoted to the entire book. So you can go through there, and I have a PDF on there that has a lot of notes and little pop-ups and commentary on it to help point out the good stuff inside of this book that you need to know. So to understand the 8-hour ozone standard, you have to understand the 1-hour ozone standard. Both of these were developed by the EPA, of course, and to start, the 1-hour ozone standard was developed back around '96, and it was implemented as a way to protect the people from the highest levels of concentration of ozone within 1 hour's period of time of being outside. So there were several counties in our metroplex, Tarrant was one of them, that fell into this serious non-attainment category. And the EPA basically said, hey, DFW, if you don't get your air quality to our standards by November 15th, 2007, your region's going to be facing some serious restrictions. I don't know what that is, but so you should all be giving yourselves a pat on the back right now. Go ahead, do it. Because we met that standard. In fact, we met that standard a year early. That's right, we met it in 2006. And unfortunately, the EPA decided, or they took it upon themselves that, well, as it says right here, the EPA determined that the peak ozone standard, or the 1-hour ozone standard, was not sufficient to protect the human health. Well, thank you, EPA. I'm so glad that you are making my decisions for me. That makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. So they developed this 8-hour standard in place of the 1-hour standard, and they instituted it in June 15th, 2005. So that was a year prior to the year that we met their standard, which was a year prior to the deadline, if that makes any sense. What ended up happening is once they instituted this 8-hour ozone standard, there were several counties, and again, Tarrant was one of them, that fell back below the attainment standards. And fortunately this time we didn't fall too far below. We were only given the category of moderate classification, and we were told that if we didn't meet this standard by June 15th of 2010, we would be reclassified as serious non-attainment, which may result in more stringent restrictions for the North Central Texas region. I can't make this stuff up because it's in the book. I mean, this is word for word out of this book that I received at the Council of Governments meeting. To me, that's a threat. They're threatening us. They're telling us, hey, if we don't follow the EPA's rules, we're going to, I don't know, limit the amount of funding that you get for repairing roads and your transportation departments. I'm going to take a guess and say that since this is all about transportation, that that's what that means. You can actually see in the book itself that I have here, every single green tab is a word-for-word reference to improving our air quality, or why we should improve the air quality, or our air quality is poor. In some way or form, air quality is involved where every green tab's at. So it's important to understand this because, again, it's being used as the basis for a lot of the legislation that's going through Arlington. The Thoroughfare Development Plan is all about, trying to get everybody to back off of cars and live a more green lifestyle, and they're getting all this information from the North Central Texas Council of Governments. I mean, you can find it right on the second page of the Thoroughfare Development Plan. The name's right there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it helped explain the 8-hour ozone standard better if you had questions. Also, from here, I encourage you to go and read the article about regional mobility initiatives. It explains and talks about that book that you just seen further in detail, and hopefully it'll help explain a little bit more about why we have this legislation going through our council right now. So, thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys around.